Hi everyone, Rocker here. Today, as the topic already explains, is the devil is in the details. And what it is, I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to walk through with me just a whole bunch of numbers and just to be able to come to the same conclusions that I did. Okay, first of all, Bear joined FetLife in 2011, okay, roughly 7 years ago. Okay, and at that point he had on his profile the fact that he had an FC of 30 years and a slave by the name of Whisper for 21 years. Okay, so write those things down. So basically 7 years later, that means that right now, according to him, is that his FC has been with him for 37 years and Whisper has been with him just over 28 years. Okay, we're good so far? Now, in those hiding anonymously thread in the Gorian Gathering Place is that he mentions that Whisper has been with him 30 years. He also mentions in another slave group posting is that Whisper has been with him for 30 years. Okay, numbers don't add up. He's saying 28 years is, if you do the math from 2011, is 28 years. Now he's saying that she's been with him for 30 years. Not only that, but what gets really funky and what I've been saying all along is that in the So What Happened thread, again, in the Gorian Gathering Place, and I'll have the links in my blog, is that all of a sudden his FC has been with him for 43 years and his slave has been with him for 27 years. Again, just throwing out random dates all over the place, none of these numbers add up. Not only that, but if he has been married to an FC for 43 years, you have to remember, for those that know Barry, is that he has stated numerous times over the years that when his wife became his FC is when he got married. And part of the wedding contract that they had as far as the license is that he did the annual FC thing as far as every year renewing that. And he said he did that for several years, that every year he would renew that annual contract, having her as an FC. Okay? But if she's been with him for 43 years, and Bear is only 58 years old, do the subtraction. 58 minus 43 is 15. Buddy, there's no way in hell you got married at 15 years of age. Not only that, but he also says the fact that he's only been a Gorian, again, he mentions this several times, and it's in one of the threads, which I'll have, is that he's only been a Gorian since 1981. So he's only been a Gorian roughly about 37 years. But apparently he had an FC 6 years previous, at 15 years of age, before he was a Gorian. See where this is coming from? You know, I've stated numerous times that I don't believe that he has a slave of, 21, 28, 27, 30. I don't care what year you throw out there. He's never had a slave that long. I've also been very consistent in the fact that I don't believe that he's been married that long either. And the reasons why is that no one has ever met either one of these girls. No one has ever talked, either online, on the phone, through a visit, when he was in Florida for 10 years, and when he moved up to Chicago. No one has ever met these women, period. Never talked to them, never seen them. There's never been any photos of them. There's never been a profile with them. Nothing. Just Bear saying and throwing all these random things out. Is, I've had Whisper for 21 years, and so that means that right now that I have her for 28 years, but no, it's actually been 30 years, but no, it's actually 27 years, and no, I've had an FC when I got married, when I was 21, and, so I've had her for like 30 years, back in 2011, and then all of a sudden it jumps up to 43 years. Like, none of these numbers add up. And I've said that consistently throughout the years that I don't believe this is true. The facts speak for themselves. Same thing with Malkinius concerning Mark and Selena. For the last 12 years, that's what the biggest beef I've had with Malkinius is, because he's a fucking liar. You know, when he went after Selena, and I first talked to this goof, is the fact that, you know, he denied it and tried to blame her. And then over the years, he's consistently denied he's never heard of them, that I'm just making these people up. These people don't exist. He doesn't know who they are. And then all of a sudden, in one thread, when I said, Malkinius, they've been a part of my leather family for years. There's a picture on FetLife over 7 years ago of Mark and Selena together. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he posts a picture that he's always had of the time that Mark and Selena took him out as a sign of appreciation for letting Selena stay there for a couple of days while Mark went to had to do a job somewhere else. And that's when the situation took place, is when Mark was gone. But all of a sudden he comes up with this photo, is that, oh yes, here's Mark and Selena, they're now part of Rocker's leather family, da da da. You knew about that all the time. You have always had that picture. Not only that, is when he lied about he's never been in the Rebel of Gore group, that he's never heard of me before FetLife. Another lie, and I proved that by showing a photo of a screenshot of him being a part of the Rebel of Gore group, which was prior to FetLife. Prowl was also in that group. But he denies, oh, I've never heard of you before, I don't know what you're talking about, you're just making all these things up. And it's like, you know, these people consistently lie. They need to be able to hide. And the whole thing with Malkinius is that when he was stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and he got caught, not only about Mark and Selena, that he, you know, denying that he knew them, when he had that photo the entire time, taken in 2006. Not only that, when he denied that he didn't know me before FetLife, and he did, and I had a screenshot of that. What happened immediately afterwards? Boom. I get slapped with a restraining order. You know, he puts a restraining order on me. I expect Bear is going to probably do the same thing. Is because, you know, the evidence is right there. You're just making up random numbers. You're forgetting what you've said, you know, last year or the year before, and nothing is consistent. You think that if you had two women living with you, that you would remember roughly how long they've been with you, how many years, celebrating an anniversary. I know you'll poo-poo and say, well, I'm gory and we don't celebrate those things, da-da-da-da-da. But you're making shit up to the point where you're saying that your FC has been with you for 43 years, which basically means that you were 15 years of age, that you got married at 15. No fucking way, buddy. No fucking way. You got caught. So, devil in the details, my friends. Devil is in the details. Have a good day.